once again, a very big welcome to this particular platform, Pinax TV. Today also happened to be one of the saddest day in the history of Ghana. We don't know what is happening, and we don't know what is wrong with the month of April. Within a span of just 2 weeks, we've lost two first ladies, or former first ladies of Ghana, and also just last 3 weeks, a little over 2 weeks ago, we also lost one of Ghana's prolific actor whose name is Sam Ajetifio, aka TT. And today we just woke up to another demise of a very young, prolific man. And this news is a very sad news because it's tied to one person who is the founding father and also the overseer of the Lighthouse Chapel International, whose name is Dag Herward Mills. Information reaching the decks of Pinax TV currently indicates that Dag Herward Mills, his firstborn, whom people tag as Dag Herward Mills Jr., but his real name is David. He is dead, and this is a very sad news. His age, is a very, very, very sad news. This is sad.
Before I come in, my greetings to everyone listening to this podcast. This is really a sad news because looking at the age of Dag Herward Mills, he's 58 and losing his first son who would have inherited his properties is really sad. And my heart goes out to every family, every member of his family. I'm just praying his soul rest in the bosom of Abraham.
Yeah, so there are many questions people are asking. Yes, and many questions people are asking.
This is a young man, 31 years, and a doctor.
31 years, very young guy.
A doctor in the U.S. I'm sure he might even be a citizen in the U.S., a full spec as such. And from some of the comments I see, I learned he's very, very humble.
Yeah,
when he comes to the country, visits his father's church and stuff, I learned he participates in a lot of the activities, very humble, and he's very friendly. So the news is kind of shocking. Everyone is just sad to hear that he has passed away.
Yeah, but the big question people are asking now is what happened? What happened for a 31-year-old doctor who perhaps is of a certain status in the United States of America? He's a doctor, perhaps he's not poor. His father is one of the richest men of God in Ghana. What happened? What killed him?
Well, actually, the sickness that killed him is not known.
It's not known.
We learned it was a short illness, which hasn't been brought to the public. So we are yet to find out what actually killed him.
It was a short illness.
Yes.
Which kind of short illness can kill a young man like this? Because if you don't know this particular man, his name is Dag Herward Mills, and he is currently the founding father of the Lighthouse Chapel International. Also, he happens to be the father of this particular gentleman. So, in as much as we know he can get down, this any person can be gunned down by any sickness.
And
there are big questions.
I learned he died before he died in the early hours of 15th April. That was on Friday.
Yeah.
And his dad had a service after that.
His dad had a service after that.
Yes.
So we are getting something from one person who is very close to the person. We've posted it on the screens. It reads, "Dear Church of Pentecost, have you heard Dr. David Herward Mills, 31-year-old son of miracle worker? Dag Herward Mills died in the USA yesterday. R.I.P. David." So you can see many people in the United States of America, those who knew him, the Ghanaian community, now they are coming up with more details, or perhaps they are also in shock, just as we are also in shock. And this was a young man. He's the firstborn. Perhaps we are not looking in terms of the property and anything, but perhaps
it's sad.
It's sad. Now, what we know or what we are learning is that Dag Herward Mills himself have come to break silence in regards to this particular case. He's put a lengthy statement, and this statement is in two. He's refusing to be broken. The reason why I'm saying he's refusing to be broken is that if you are on Dag Herward Mills' page currently, you will see that Dag Herward Mills have constantly been posting, and it seems like if you don't know what is really happening, you think
I am sure
he's unbothered.
Still in shock.
Yeah, he's still in shock,
yes.
But he's just trying to keep his head high. And then if you're currently on his page, you just see all the services been doing and stuff, and it's very sad. Now, this is a short statement that we've got from the church, and this was we've got a copy of what we have here, and they're saying that It is with deep regret and great sorrow that we announce the sudden passing away of Dag Herward Mills after a short illness. David was the first son of our founder and presiding bishop, and also Episcopal sister Adelaide Herward Mills. Adelaide Herward Mills is the wife of Dag Herward Mills, and also the mother to this particular son who has fallen. David was a medical doctor working and living in the US. He was 31 years old.
Just 31.
It's
And
really
the
sad.
statement,
It's
yeah,
really
and the
sad.
statement also reads that we also, as a church, are heartbroken. However, we stand with our leader and his family and believe that God will comfort and see us through this difficult season. Please respect the privacy during this difficult time. Funeral arrangements will be communicated in due course. We kindly ask that you bear them in prayer. So this was a statement which came from the church. Perhaps they've confirmed the issue. I have details of what the guy was doing in US, the work he was doing, but I believe you people want to say something. I don't know if you guys want to say something to that effect, but if you don't have anything to say, I have details about Dag Herward Mills here. That is David Herward Mills, who happens to be the first son of Dag Herward Mills. What we know is that all we know currently, per information we are still getting, indicates that he worked as a resident physician at Prisma Health, that's at Columbia, that's South Carolina in the United States of America. So he's a doctor, but he was working as a resident physician at a Prisma Health, Columbia, South Carolina. And then what we know is that just last 2 years, that is when the coronavirus came, that's July around 2019, from July 2019 to June 2020, the information we are getting here is that he was also the Piedmont Healthcare. He was also with Piedmont Healthcare as a medical doctor in Athens, Georgia, United States. And what we are getting here again indicates that he worked as part-time lead director for National Alliance for Mental Health and Substance Abuse Recovery for 5 good years. So clearly, as young as he is, he has records. What we have here again is that he was also a research physician at the Shriners Hospital for Children at Galveston, perhaps United States of America. We have more information about his educational background, but before then, this particular David Herward Mills, he took the footsteps of his father. You
As
know,
every first son should.
yes, I don't think every first son should take the footsteps of the father, but he took the footsteps of the father, because the father was a doctor, a medical doctor,
Yeah.
and then he apparently stopped everything and went into full-time gospel service. So this is sad. Now, let's get to a little bit of his educational background. We are learning that the late Dr. David Herward Mills had his internal medicine residency program at the University of Georgia from 2019 to 2020. That is one thing that they do. That's internal medicine residency program to actually upgrade your service and all
So
of
does
that.
it mean he spent most of his lives
Yeah,
abroad?
He's
Yeah.
a citizen. He's a citizen.
Okay.
Citizen of.
the United States of America. Okay. So again, they are saying here that before 2008 to 2014, before that 2008 to 2014, he acquired his Doctor of Medicine certificate from Ukraine at the National Prokop Memorial Medical University located in Vinnytsia, Ukraine. That is Mimnik, and the University IMI Progova. You see, just let me tell you something. You realize that during the Ukraine war, you realize that the report which came was Ghanaian students in Ukraine.
Yes.
The report was not Ghanaian residents in Ukraine. So you see, aside from all that is going on, Ukraine is noted to have one of the best universities in the world, especially in terms of medicine.
Yes.
In terms of medicine.
That's true.
So, according to people I've spoke with and the research I've done in regards to Ukraine school and all of that, the education that you get at Oxford for, let's say, $100,000 a year, or perhaps Harvard, you can get the same education at Ukraine, any Ukraine accredited university for less than $10,000.
Yeah.
For less than
Okay.
$10,000. And I believe, I don't know what happened, but perhaps in terms of cost, and Dag Herward Mills can afford it. But I'm sure for the love of diversity, this young guy did. And no wonder he worked in US afterwards. And this is so sad. What else do we have about this young man? Is he married? Because I saw the pictures which is flying around the case that he's holding perhaps a baby in the arms, and
that's a young picture of him.
that's a young picture of him.
Yeah, that's a very young picture.
So
I'm not sure he's married.
31 years is not
31
married.
Yes, I'm not sure he's married.
He's a handsome man, by the
Very,
way,
very handsome.
but we don't
A
know
full spec as such.
that he's dead. He's dead. He's dead, and that's a sad news. So, the big question is going forward. Should we? I don't know. The disease have not come out.
Yeah, everyone is now focused on the cause.
The cause.
What really caused
because
the death
it's
of
really
this
hard
man.
to hear doctors die at young age, because they are doctors and they take care of patients, and then hearing
Yeah.
them die, it's so sad.
It's so sad. But I don't know. You see, the big question people be asking too is, his father is a man of God. So didn't they see this coming? Because Dag Herward is really huge.
It's the same question people asked when Eastwood, Annabeth's children died on their way to university, but the man stood at the pulpit and still preached. Death is inevitable. It happens. Being a pastor doesn't mean you have to definitely see.
Doesn't mean he's immortal.
You have to see, yeah.
No, I'm not saying he's immortal, like he's not going to die. The question is, didn't you see it coming? Because apparently he's a man of God. He sees things. He prophesies things. So
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. He prayed over it. But, maybe God has plans for that. Maybe he needs to eliminate this one in order for something great or something.
eliminate as God is killing this one for.
They say
for
God gives it and he takes. So
See, I've worked with pastors, and then what I got to know was it's not everything that God reveals to them. That's what I got.
It's
to
not
know.
everything that God reveals to them.
Sometimes it happens and they are unaware of it.
but I
according
need
to-
something closer to you.
According to the pastors I've worked, they said they're just 5 senses. So it's not always that you have to see, but sometimes you sense it. Sometimes you dream about it. Sometimes God reveals it to you, and
So-
then sometimes you are unaware of it.
So when the revelation comes, which steps do they take?
They mostly pray about it. If it's good, it will come. If it doesn't, they mostly pray about it.
Okay, so one person that we are trying to forget here is Lady Adelaide Herward Mills. I think she's one of the prolific people. I personally listen to her still at Sweet Melodies. I think her preaching is very prolific and very, perhaps, very cool. She's a very nice person. And she's an epitome of what the 21st century woman should be. She supports her husband. She took her education serious. She's a hardworking woman. She's always beside her husband. She's always involving herself. I don't know how she's going to take, because in many of her preachings I've listened to, she always talks about her children, especially when her children were going to SHS, and some of the problems she encountered and the fear that the children might veer off to join a particular group of people. These are key issues, and I don't know how she's going to take it, because the dream of every parent is to die before your children, not for you to
Yeah.
bury your
Not the other way
children.
around.
So I don't know.
I mean, this is a very big blow to her, a first son as such. I don't know how she's going to take it. Even I'm sure the dad is still in shock, because looking at his Facebook page, he's not saying anything about it. All he has ever posted is what happened on Friday.
Yeah.
That's their
Yeah.
services and stuff. I'm sure they are still in denial. They are not. They don't want to accept it. That
They
their
don't want to
son
accept the
is-
reality.
Yes, their son is gone. So I mean, as a mom losing your first son, and it's not going to be easy. It's not easy at all.
And this kind of opened the big question for certain behavior of some men of God in Ghana. Dag Herward Mills, I've always said he's one person that we can always look up to.
Yeah.
His attitude has always been on point. He's not perfect. He's also had his shortcomings. But we have certain men of God who prophesy death of people. And the shocking part of it all is that when they do, they just come out, like one person is Nigel Gazy. He can tell his prophecy only comes in regards to rich people and people who are popular.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
are singing and you are popular, you are topping charts, he will mention your name and tell you that he
You
saw
die
that the
soon.
devil put an accident and be poisoned and all of that. And the shocking thing is, when his alleged sex tape leaked, he didn't say it. So these pastors kind of prophesy everything around. They know when rain will fall. They know when they know everything. When the president will die, who will win the next elections.
Of
Some
course.
some of them are fake. Whatever they say, some of them are fake. They
And you
just
have
like what
people-
want the
happened
fame.
during
You have people.
election.
You have
Yes.
people. You
You
have
see,
people
and they
who
mostly
kind
come
of.
out when election time is close.
Yeah.
That's why you be hearing this kind of
They keep
prophets and
gambling
then-
with
yeah,
it.
Yes.
This one says this one says that. And this party will win, then the next pastor will say, no, this party will win. So
Yes.
it's like a 50-50 chances.
And I think they are doing it just to, I don't know. The Bible has told us in the end time everybody will get up in the name. So perhaps I think right now it's all about money, money,
yeah, of
money,
course.
money. And then you see them who has the biggest cars, who has the biggest house, who bought this first, who bought this,
Well,
that.
their members are suffering.
Because nowadays the churches here, they become business churches. You see a young guy going to a Bible school and then we just come out and say, I have found my own
Said
church.
that is one of the short ways
And the
to,
funny thing is, they just prophesy 1, 2, and then you see Ghanaians just
yeah,
paying
because
them
people of late don't go to church to pray. They go to church because they want to kind of what's the word? They're either going for prosperity, to tap into their
Prophecies.
blessings and prophecies and all of those
Prophecies.
things. But you see, the big question, I remember when I was young, going to church, even Sunday school, what they'll teach us is how to respect our parents.
Yes.
If you come from school, greet. Because the Bible says that they have this quotation that any child who obeys wine will live longer.
Yeah,
Yes, that was in
yes.
Ephesians, and they made you recite. So when you are coming from school, even strangers, you have to greet them.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
and when they tell you, you have to obey. And for our mothers, if you ever pulled along to Imbeku, that is women's fellowship, you realize they were teaching the women how to handle their husbands,
Yes.
how to talk to their husbands.
Mhm.
So and men to they were teaching them skills. If you can't work, the church will try as much as possible to get a job for you and all that. So those days I remember in the 1997, 98, 94.
Those days are not like this.
Those days churches was standing for something which was really reasonable. But these days you go to church and it's like everybody wants the pastor to say a certain line. The pastor will be preaching, but it's all about prosperity. But we don't talk about what Christianity really stands for.
Yeah, they're afraid they will lose members.
Of course, they are afraid. So we are partly to be blamed because if they're able to call out the shots, and that is why, by the way, we are having a lot of marriage collapse.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
what
Yeah.
is really happening is that people go to church and they don't tell them that when your husband speaks one, just kind of, because men have a bad temperament. So you can't go like trying to be on the same rampage with men. One has to humble himself for the other, and obviously it has to be the ladies. Let the man talk. Once he's angry, ladies have a way of trying to get
Ladies
men.
nowadays are full of I know my rights.
It's not they're even full of I know my right. The educational system, you see, white woman went to school and she learned how to better her craft to appease people around her.
Yes.
Our ladies, our sisters, they go to the university, and the unfortunate thing is when you marry them, they think they know everything. Okay, they think that they're entitled to everything. Like I've met ladies who tell me, I've dated ladies who tell me that if I'm washing the dishes or if I'm washing the clothes, you need to scrub the bathroom. I don't have any issue with that. But at that time that I'm going to work and putting money on the table and you are not working, I think you need to take care of that.
Yeah, I fully agree.
And
but
and they want to kind of, because if you really if you are telling your man to scrub the bathroom, wash the bowls, and you just do some little cooking, then perhaps we should start sharing the bills.
It's counterculture. They are cultivating the whites doing. They feel what the whites are doing. They have to.
Let
learn
me
it.
tell you
this
something.
same-
White people, I don't know if you've stayed white people before. White people, you watch movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen any white man preparing dinner on the for they do, but on occasions like perhaps the wife's anniversary or something.
Yes.
But look at it. Usually the women, they're in the kitchen, they serve the children, they are there, the children come from school. Don't you see them in the series and stuff?
Yes.
yes.
So how come? And you see, we copy and we copy blindly.
Yes, that's the thing.
But the thing is, they know the genesis and they know the bedrock of every marriage. You see, believe me, divorce is very painful. You think divorce is just something which is cool until you lose, because once you are divorced, you become a divorcee. Do you get what I'm not saying that if you are in a marriage which is toxic, which you are being abused, stay. All I'm trying to say is we need to understand that we have can a man give birth?
No.
Yes. So
No.
these are basic things which are there.
I had the same argument with a colleague yesterday, and then I was talking about gender equality. And I mean, if your wife goes to work, you also go to work. She closes late, you close late. I don't think you expect her to come home and then be in the kitchen cooking for you. I mean, she's tired. You're both tired. You can help out.
You see, the thing here is, I stayed with a couple who adopted the lifestyle of, let's say, white people. This was what the woman did. She goes to work Mondays to Fridays. So Saturday, Sunday that she doesn't go to work. Saturdays, she goes to the market, buy all the foodstuffs, and then she comes, she does a stew. She can have a gravy stew. She can have 2 types of soup. Maybe okra soup and maybe granite soup. We have yam abundance. We have cocoa yam. We have rice. We have rice balls. We have banku. We have gari, eba, everything there.
Okay.
So what happened is this. The woman have, because trust me, food basically, all you need with food is just meat and soup
Yeah.
and stew.
Yes.
That's
So
it.
the woman does it. We have a very big fridge. She puts everything in there. So Monday, we even had a roaster. Can you imagine?
It helps.
We had a roaster. So Monday, when we come, we are perhaps taking rice balls and what do you call it? Maybe
Groundnut
granite
soup.
soup. We just do the rice balls. You can't store them, but sometimes you can store them. But what happened is that if you do rice balls, we've prepared everything, the water in the cup, everything is there. So immediately get to the kitchen, you put the rice on fire within just few minutes. You just have
It
to
gets cooked and
You
then
just-
that's it.
exactly, and life was smooth. And in regards to the other days, we used to peel yam and put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
So
when you
just have to
come-
put them in a rubber
It's
and
good.
put them in a freezer.
And that
that's
was
it.
working smart. So you see, what happened was the woman was achieving what was difficult by working smart. That's why King
Yeah.
Solomon used to tell us that it's not about the strongest who survives, it's about the smartest.
Smartness.
So how are women combining the two? Because trust me, if the man does not bring money to the house or the table and the man does not pay the bills, the ladies will nag. And they'll let the whole world know they are living with an incompetent man who can't take care of the family. So why, if the man is doing his part, why can't you? It's different from you guys are in the house. The woman is tired or she's cooking. You hold the baby. That makes sense. But for the man to join you in the kitchen, whilst you know men we can't cook, what are you anticipating? And the funny thing is, they do this. They bring maid and they leave everything to the maid, and then we end up sleeping with the maid. We need to do marriage classes. So but in regards to whatever happened, we are praying that may God keep this young man in his bosom.
Of Abraham.
Yes, and one thing we also say is that this goes a long way to tell us that death is no respecter of persons.
No.
We need to live our life well. I'm still concerned about the drug usage of the youth these days because we are carrying the liver. I'm not saying you did drugs. I'm just saying something like we are carrying the liver problems and the kidney problems very much.
Kidney is kind of normal nowadays.
And even the rate at which young men and women are dying, it's so sad.
And the funny
Yeah.
thing is the causes are kidney failure, liver failure,
Yeah.
kidney failure.
Yeah,
You
And-
go to the club and then you see them combining
yeah,
shisha with alcohol, and they don't even take proper food.
Yeah.
The foods around are only fried something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fried yam, fried meat, fried pork, fried this, which is very, very
and you
bad.
see, this goes to the question of we coping without merit. We see these white people eating fried chicken, KFC, McDonald's and stuff.
It's their normal food.
But trust me, in the morning they eat a lot of fruits. They
even
eat a lot of
detox.
vegetables.
They take green teas and stuff.
Good. Baby Bini. I remember when KFC came to town first, we had people going there morning, afternoon, even they thought they were living the rich life.
You see them snapping with the KFC.
Yeah.
Thinking they are.
And the malls is worse because when you go there on holidays, the ladies especially when they buy the KFC, they hold it like this.
yeah.
And they go and carry, they want everybody to say, hey, you have to KFC.
KFC.
And pizza. It's like the
It's
pizza.
like a trophy. to
Yeah,
them.
they hold it like this and they go and sit at the trotro. They don't even if they had the opportunity, they would buy seats for the pizza.
Of course.
And then you carry 100 cities to go and buy pizza. And then I'm not saying eating pizza is that, but the way ladies glorify this kind of, so sometimes I'm
It's true.
driving
Yesterday
around.
was a holiday and the mall was fully packed. KFC was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, people were just outside waiting to buy that kind of food. Wow.
I don't know. They think eating KFC means you're on top of the world.
Well, you see, the whole thing has to do with branding. I personally don't think iPhone is the best phone. I've used the phone I'm currently using is not iPhone, is aging to about next year I believe will be 4 years. But it still looks new. I've had people using iPhone for just 2 years and become so hot. The whole thing has to do with branding.
Yeah.
You
How
get
you
what I'm
brand yourself.
Yeah, so it's not about you having the best or you having the quality or you having the flashiest. It's about the brand.
Yeah.
So KFC have created the niche. It's not like you meet a girl, you go like, okay, what should I buy you?
KFC.
KFC. They just say it's like I don't know. It's like
And it's really not expensive, So
Yeah,
people-
comparing them to other foods.
I mean, we're just 30 cedis. You can get like 3 pieces of chicken. So
what
just
the sad
imagine.
thing is for the local people, we are not creating something to compete with it. What you're saying makes sense because one time I went to a particular restaurant that I used to buy food and it was 20 cedis just for one pack. And when they said 25, 30.
Wow.
So I just drove to KFC, gave them 20 cedis, 21 cedis, and I got 2 chicken and some angwamo, which is angwamo. I came to eat it like that. So this is the sad news that is happening. We pray may the good Lord put this guy in his bosom. We'll give you more updates as all of these events unfold.